Hello out there, subscribers and friends. This is Survivin' 2 coming at you with another video.
Okay, let's have a look at what I got here. I've got the box itself, and then I've got the cover that goes on top of it. Now the cover is notched out for the piezo, and I got a hole cut here for the piezo to sit in. Now this system is not waterproof, so you can wrap it up with duct tape or whatever, or electrical tape and seal it a little bit, but you can't. You could put some RTV silicone around here, and that would help a lot, and then also here. But then every time you had to break into it to replace the battery, you'd have a problem of having to reseal it. So I'm just not that worried about it being waterproof. As long as it's water resistant, that's great. Now here's the 4 screws that attach the cover to the box itself, and I picked up this box and all at Radio Shack, and I hope you can hear me with the wind noise. Alright, we'll start off with the electrical, the way it's hooked up. Power source, 9-volt battery. Normally you want to switch the positive wire, but in this case I switched the negative wire. I took the positive wire and I ran it right straight to the piezo. Then I took the negative wire from the battery lead, and I also got this 9-volt battery lead snap-on at Radio Shack, and you run it right straight to the switch, and then the power would go through the switch, back out, and then it would run along this other wire and go to the piezo. Now if you think of electricity in 24 volt, 12 volt, 110 volt, I don't care what voltage, if you think of it as water running through a pipe, if the water can't get to where you want it to go, you've got a problem. If it gets there and then it returns or continues on to what you're looking for, then you're doing okay. So that's a quick, easy way to try and remember it, like water flowing through a pipe. If it doesn't make it there, it won't work. So now I'll take and put all this together and show you what it looks like together. Okay, this is the system. Once I got the battery put in there, the piezo put in the end, and the cord connected to it, and the little foam pieces that help keep everything from rattling around. I'm having trouble out here because of the wind, moving the camera and all around. Let me pick up the box and I'll show you. There's piezo. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you should be able to now see the piezo in the end of it there. And then the wires just set in a groove I cut right there, and then this lid will just go right on top of it all, and you'll make sure you keep all the wires on the inside, and I'll screw it down with the 4 screws, and that'll be how it looks, right like that. Okay, here it is all closed up and ready to go. Now this lead, I didn't buy this lead. I had it from a long time ago on some security stuff I have. Now you can make it out of an old clothespin, take tin foil and wrap around each tip of the clothespin, the tips that close together, and then you can take and attach the wires, or a pair of wires, one to each side of the clothespin. Or you could use little pieces of copper. You can use anything that's metallic and conducts electricity. And I'll go ahead and set this system up and show you how it works. Okay, I'm going to set this up in a small pattern. You can see one of the stakes right there I put down. These could be trees. And the other one is right there. And then I've got another one right there. I'm having a look and then find it with the camera. Another one's right back over here. Another one's right out in there. And another one right there. And then another one right here, and then I'm going to come back to the alarm. Now what I've done is I've taken my knife and I've cut some points on these sticks. These could be existing trees in places. Somewhere you're going to have to put a stick, something like that. Then further up the stick, like right in here somewhere, something like that, I would put a notch in there, flat on one side, flat on this bottom side, and then notched into it so that the string could go into it and it would be strung out. Now if the trees are there, you can just slip the line over bark. And what I'm using, if I can find it, I don't know if you can see that or not, that's some fishing line, some about 15-pound test fishing line, something like that. That's perfect. It's real hard to see, and it'll stay there. So let me do some more work and I'll get right back to you. Okay, now lens cap's flying all over the place in this wind. Hang on just a second. Get it all set. What I've done is I've taken and tied a knot right here in the line. Now my gum rope is in my neck knife rope. Okay, I've tied a line here, and what I'm going to do, it's right close to that one, is I'm going to take it and stretch it out and hook it on these. And I'm not going to put it in there very hard, just going to put it in there kind of lightly. So now this one I've made a notch in. I don't know if you can see that. There it is right there. But I'll just take it and lay it down in that notch, keeping it tight and going to these others. Let me string this and I'll come back to you. Okay, I've got the line strung out. I didn't have enough to go all the way around, so I'm going to do it as kind of a semi-perimeter here. And what I've got is, you can see this piece of wood, these little twigs I got put up there, and the line goes on out. It goes out this way and around and comes back over, and there's some more twigs over there. You want to pick an area that limits your opponent's approach from. You want to keep him coming in and down the lane. You want to tell him, just like game, if you're trapping game, tell that game where to go. Well, you're telling your game where to go. You're going to pick a bordered area to where you can get in. And I can go all into camp security, and I'm not. I'm just doing this for this video here. And there's a tons of scenario for camp security. You just have to try and figure it out on your own, or learn it from someone. Anyway, so I've limited his approach to between here and over there, and I've got that area covered with that string. And what I've got down here is my little switch. Now, right now my switch is still covered, my line's still hooked up. So I got to disconnect my line, and I got to hook it up to that switch, and I'm going to use a leaf. And the next time you see it, I'll have that leaf on there and barely in there. And in that way, if someone trips the line, it'll set it off and you'll hear what it sounds like. Okay, there it's set. Now I can make the leaf shorter or whatever and make it just a hair trigger. I'm just messing around with this for right now, showing y'all. You see, the switch itself, it's held onto that tree branch by some Velcro that I used to wrap the cord up with. And I just slide it down on the end, wrap it around the tree, and there, my switch is set. Now this is the safety mechanism that I've got slid over the two contacts, just to keep it from going off all the time, because if I pull that leaf out, it'll sit there and sound like crazy. Alright, now we got everything set, and I'll get back to you and I'll be the prey. Alright, there's one border, there's the other border, and you can see my shadow. Got the sun in my back, and then the line comes right down here and along and around and back over and back to the alarm. So if I go traipsing anywhere in this area, that should set it off. And I got it. Huh, what's that I hear? Son of a gun! My alarm. I know somebody's coming through this area. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy. Bye. Okay, this is the bag that I keep it in. And this is it once I go ahead and wrap it up and roll it back up and then put the tie wrap around the case, which holds it pretty well. And then it just goes back down into the bag, and I zip the bag up and stick it in my pack.
I want to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more in the future that I put out, just subscribe. Until then, later.